Hello and welcome to predictions by astrology.com. This is my second video on Vedic astrology based on my first video where I give an introduction of how astrology was evolved and how astrology helps you in determining the events in your life, especially in relation to the movies. Because recently I have two articles which I have written on the timing of the movie release, because that's also very important at what time you release a movie. There are several articles which I have written, and you can check out in the links which is given here, and you can read all the articles, and I'll be happy if you place your comments in the comment section. Now today's article which I am writing is on third house of and from an ascendant. Now this is very much important because an astrological chart, it has 12 houses. The first house, the second house, the third house, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Each of these houses has a special meaning or determines some events in your life. An astrological chart can also be divided into subdivisional charts, but today if you have gone through the articles, the links of which are given below, you can see that I have discussed about the first house, second house, third house, fourth house and simultaneously up to the 12th house. But why I am doing this video about the third house today? Because third house has a very special role to play in your life. It deals about those things in your life which makes you motivated. Now see, all throughout the years of reading this astrology, and for long I have been reading this astrology and the books which I have read and the ancient scriptures which I have read, and seeing innumerable number of charts which I have understood after reading this astrology. This is only my personal analysis. The third house helps you to get motivated. In today's world, you may see that the rate of unemployment has increased a lot because everybody wants a job. Somewhere they want to go and do a job. Okay, that's fine. But there are certain special talents, there are certain special things in each one of you which helps you to do something on your own, which in today's world is termed as entrepreneurship. Well, how can third house help you to stay motivated? Because what is third house? You see, third house is a house which is your courage, which deals a lot about your courage. For example, let me give you, if your ascendant, I'm talking about the ascendant in a Vedic astrology, is Libra. So the third house from Libra is Sagittarius. So when you see and look at this house of Sagittarius, what is the symbol of a Sagittarius? This is someone standing with a bow and arrow and all these things. That means that you are motivated when you see things or you visualize things which are about action, which are about fast things, which are about things where it's related to something called war and things related to that. So when you visualize these things in a movie, or you see a person coming out successfully in flying colors after a lot of struggles and telling his story in front of the whole world, that's which actually hearing it motivates you. Motivation, even third house is also about your passion, because motivation is something like, what is motivation? Motivation will keep you motivated for 1 or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, but when you are driven by that passion, things starts happening. So that's your third house. So it's also about, let me give you an introduction of this third house. It's also about small writings, not about big writings. It's like, you write after pages after pages after pages and it's a big book which you are publishing. That is basically the ninth house from the ascendant. The third house where is about your writing skills in a very just way, some short stories, short poems. It also deals about some, going or traveling to places which are not far away. It is short travel. So when you have short travels, that is also your third house. Third house also, if you see that Bhavat Bhavan concept, that since it is the second house to the second house, I mean, if your second house, for example, I give an example of your ascendant being Libra, and your second house is Scorpio, and your third house is Sagittarius. So from Scorpio, it is the second house. So it also deals with your family income. Okay. Similarly, if you see the fourth house, it is the 12th house. The third house is the 12th house from the fourth house. So it also is about the moksha of your mother. You see, from the 8th house, this third house is the 8th house. So it also deals with longevity, of yourself. So in this way, you can calculate the things, what exactly your, third house, how it helps you to understand what role it has to play in your life. But since this video is about, I'm looking into that motivational part. So I'll give you another example that I did, like for example, if your third house, is about, Pisces, that means the Capricorn, Capricorn is your ascendant now, and third house is the Pisces. What happens in this case? You will get motivated by something romantic, movies, romantic songs, romantic things. These are the things, will motivate you. So since that is also, governed by Jupiter, so that house is governed by Jupiter. If it is a Pisces, is governed by Jupiter. So it will also, deal with learning. It will also deal with learning. The more you learn, the more confident you are. So these are all the things by which you get motivated. For example, let me give you another example. For example, you have a Taurus ascendant. So your third house is Cancer. So what happens if your third house is Cancer? What is Cancer? It is ruled by Moon. Moon is for creativity. Whatever creativity you wanted to do in your life, that is Moon. So and that has also to do with politics. That has also to do with water. So how you will get motivated? So the more creative you are, you see more creative things happening, everywhere. You also feel that let me do some creative things in my life. That's where you get motivated. So if you have to do something on staying on your entrepreneurship or something like that, you need to have motivated, and you have to be driven. You have to be driven with your passion. So third house, definitely strengthening your third house will help you. Strengthening your third house will help you to get motivated and do the things, even if you have innumerable number of challenges in your life. So that means that if I come to the first house, like for the first house, it is as I was giving the example, like it is Libra. So for the Libra, it is like, the third house is the Sagittarius. So it is also Jupiter's side. The more you read, the more you get motivated in your life. That's the thing, the more you are reading, and the more any articles, any source, any spiritual books, anything, if you are into a subject, go and read deep into the subject. You will get confidence into that, and that will help you to move forward. So likewise, if you see like for example, Scorpio. What is Scorpio? The Scorpio is a sign which is, if you have a Scorpio ascendant, for example. Now, if you have a Scorpio ascendant, your third house comes to be, Capricorn. So what is Capricorn? Capricorn has to do a lot with, something on which they are basically into, since it's ruled by Saturn, they are basically into mass, photography, they are into something on videos, they are mostly into photographies also. So if you read or see things on photography and those type of things, you will get interested into that. For example, you have an Aquarius ascendant. Now your third house is Aries. Now what is Aries? Aries is a fiery sign, it's a warrior sign. So any agitated, any type of revolutions in the world, any type of things which shows you a lot of courage to change the entire scenario of the world. These are the things which will get you motivated. Even action sequences or movies of such type will get you motivated. So these are the ways you understand, that how and which signs will help you to stay motivated. And motivation is needed because this is the third house which makes you understand that generally in your life you will see, if you see your third house, you will see that those are the things which motivates you to go around and do the things what you wanted to do. So even if even from the Bhavat sorry, even from the Bhavat Bhavan concept, you will see that the fathers, like for example from the ninth house, if you see the ninth house, it's exactly the opposite, the third house. So it is seventh house. It is a seven from the ninth house. So basically, it also deals with your guru's spouse. That means how the spouse of your guru, you think somebody as your guru, or it's also, since ninth house, many astrologers says that since ninth house is also has to deal with one's father, so it's also about father's spouse, that means your mother. So not only fourth house deals with your mother, but third house also has to do or tell a lot about your own biological mother. So it's not about mother, it may be your biological mother or the mother which you think that you take somebody as a motherly figure. The other thing which is since it also has to do, the third house has to do with something of your elder siblings son or daughter, because since it is from the 11th house, this is the 5th house, so it has to do with your third house also tells about how your son or elder siblings son or daughters are basically, and what relation you can have with them. So these are all the things which third house determines. Third house is very special. Third house is the motivational factor. Third house is strengthening your third house, or understanding your third house will make you remain motivated, do the things what you wanted to do. Because if you remain motivated and if you're driven by the passion of that third house, then definitely you will succeed. I'll write an article on that, and based on my personal analysis, because the views which I am expressing right now may not match with any other astrologers, or the way they predict, it can be different. This is entirely my own personal views, and I hope you like seeing this video, and you please put a comment if you like it, and I look forward to making a new video on entrepreneurship and also Vedic astrology.